Hello guys, Felipe Carvalho here. I'm going to show you how to set up an audio recording environment using Reaper and a program called Audio for All. First thing you have to do is to make sure that your Windows is set up. There's no programs running on the background and that your audio is running correctly. Okay? I also advise that you don't have if you're using a notebook or a laptop, that you don't have a wireless device active during the recording sessions, turn it off. You'll probably have a switch on your computer. So let's begin. First we have to download Audio for All. So let's open Google. Okay, so Audio for All. It's a very popular program. Okay, enter their site. You'll go right away into the download section. So download the latest stable version. That's 2.1. Install it. You will have to restart your computer. What this program does is that it creates an Audio driver based on the default drivers of that you have on your Windows right now. If your interface is consumer grade, you know, the kind that's made for recording, you probably already have drivers on the CD that comes with the interface. If you're using a default interface that comes integrated on your motherboard, or if you're using the notebook default interface, then you probably need Audio for All. Because the normal drivers have too much latency to work. We will not use audio on the fly. We will not use live monitoring, but even for work without monitoring, the latency is just too big. You cannot really use it, and Audio for All is more stable to work like that. Okay, so download it, install, and restart your computer. After you did this, search for Reaper. Reaper is a DAW. Okay, it's a multi-track recorder that works on Windows. The download page is right here. You can download and install it. Reaper is not free, but you'll be able to use it for free for 60 days for as a tryouts, right? And after the 60 days, you will, instead of not being able to use the program, it will just bug you during the opening screen to buy it. And that's it. I recommend that you buy it because it's relatively cheap compared to other solutions of the same kind, and it's an awesome program. Okay, so I have downloaded, I have installed it, and I will open it now. Okay, I have the license, I'm not entering it now. Great. First thing you have to do, go to Options, Preferences, and in here on Audio System, select Audio. Your Audio driver probably will pop up here, in the case Audio for All. So, what do we have to set up here? Almost nothing. It will probably have all the inputs and outputs of your interface. In the case it's not showing up, close any programs. For example, I have Skype here. Skype could interfere with it, so close Skype, close MSN, close anything that's open. Okay, especially programs that play back audio. After you're in the screen and all the inputs and outputs are showing up, click on Audio Configuration. It will enter into this screen. You have probably just one interface, and your Audio buffer will be set to 512 samples. Increase it up to 1024. It's safer. Then if you want to try to find a setting to work on zero latency or low latency for live monitoring, try reducing it bit by bit until you can get away with a stable configuration. In my case, I find that 1024 is the rock solid configuration to work with the notebook. That's way too much for this kind of work. If we are using a dedicated interface designed for recording, you probably get away with like 128 or even less. Okay, so great. I think it's best to leave the sample rate at 44,000. Okay, you will probably be working at 24 bits. Most modern audio cards support it now. And that's it. That's the device setting. Click OK. It will save your setting. Now, again, go into Options and Preferences. Now go into Recording. In here, Reaper, your installation will be like this. Okay. Use audio driver reported latency and 0 samples here. I want you to uncheck this box, click OK, and then we're going to fix the latency right away. First thing you have to do, insert click source. If you insert an audio item and a track in Reaper is both a track to record audio, record MIDI, and a channel, and also the bus where you add effects. Okay, has a number of functions all centered in the track. For now, let's just know that it playbacks audio. Okay, you play it back. You can see that the click is being played. It shows up on the matter on the channel, and this is the master channel that's coming out of your headphones. Right? I'll not record the audio of this session because it's just clicks. You'll hear the same on your house. There's nothing to worry about. And because of the levels of this, I want to normalize. To normalize an item, which means bringing the highest peak of the item up to 0 dB without compressing, just rising the volume. Press Ctrl, Shift, N, and there you go. All the peaks are on 0 dB now. It will be the highest peak. Okay, there's no compression going on. I'm sorry, I wasn't supposed to do like this. Now I want you to add a new track. You can either press Ctrl T or double click this area. Okay, Ctrl T also adds it. And in this track, I want you to set the function record arm, which tells the program that I want this track to be armed for recording. It means that the audio being captured will be written here. And here in this box, you can set up the input for your track, the hardware input. So maybe input 1 or input 2. In my case, it's input 1. And it's this mic here that's plugged into my notebook directly. Okay, it's a very cheap mic, no big deal with this thing. So let's see what we have now. The audio is being played back here on the phones, and the next track will capture audio here. So what I'm gonna do, don't press monitoring, okay, to do this. Leave it off. You can't have feedback from the mic into your headphone, or you will have microphone, okay? Press record and place the headphone on the mic, like this. And great, now we have recorded the feedback of the clicks, and I want to normalize this too. Now you can see that there's a difference from the peak here and the peak here. There's a time difference. There's a time latency from one to the other. The reason is because our audio interface is not designed for this work. It takes too long for the playback and the input to match each other. So the audio comes back from the speaker. It takes all this time to be captured again. It means that everything that you think that you're singing on beat will be shifted by this amount. It's a lot. It will disrupt your performance. Okay. So let's measure how much you can see that you can't select away from the grid like in this mode, right? Turn off this function called snap. Snap enabled, snap disabled. Okay, now you can select any part of your project. I want you to center right in the middle of it, of the problematic area that we're going to treat, and zoom. Zoom. Oh, too much zoom. Okay, this is enough. I'll click here on the beginning of the click, and I'm gonna drag. Okay, sorry. To select this, click on the beginning of the click, but on the timeline up here, see the cursor must be like that. Select here, drag with left mouse button over to the beginning of the recorded click. And this area is the amount of time that it took for the audio to go out of the interface and into our sound card. Okay? Now, how much time did it took to do all that? And here you have the data of the selection that you just did, the beginning, the end, and the length. But it's on measures, on musical measures. I don't want musical measures. I want to know how many samples it took. So I'm going to press the right mouse button here. I'm going to select samples. And now I know the starting sample, the ending sample, and how many samples are there. And with this information, I'm going to go back into options, references, and I'm going to add that amount of samples into the output latency. 3035 samples. Okay, great. Let's see if it works. I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to click anywhere. I'm going to double click anywhere on the timeline to select everything. Zoom out. I'm going to delete this item. And I'm going to record it again in the same way, like that. Okay, enough. I'll press space bar to stop. I'll normalize it again. Great. See, it's all aligned with the time, with the grid. So Reaper understood that the amount of time that it must place on the output to do the calculations. It's telling Reaper that the output is 3,100 samples in delay in relation to the input. Okay, that's it. Your Reaper is set up with low latency, and that's all there was to it. Okay, you can record something real quick here just to test if you can record voice. I'll delete the clip track. I'll delete this item. And then record. I will run into the midnight sun. Wait. Okay. It works. Awesome. And that's it. The Reaper is set up. You can use it to record. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video where I'll show how to set up a recording session within Reaper and record some vocals on whatever song. Okay, thanks.